What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I am your host, AC the Engineer, and we are at episode 45. Yes, I said 45. Let's give it a round of applause. Yep, we're at episode 45 now. So, hey, we're moving along. We got a lot of things to talk about today. And it's always a good morning. It's Tuesday, September 23rd, and it is 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Early bird catches the worm. I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope your day is starting out good. If you got to go to work, get ready to go to work. If you off today, hey, enjoy your time off. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. We got a lot of things to cover today. I got 8 topics that we're going to go through, 8 topics. And it's just a wide variety of things. We got a lot of people getting unalived for, it looks like employees doing their job, and then different people unaliving them. I don't know. We're going to go through those. We got girlfriends getting stabbed. This is every single day we do this. I always say the same thing. It's a crazy world. It is a crazy world out there, y'all. It's a crazy world. But, I like to do it. I like to jump right into it. Remember, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you're tuning in now, if you're tuning in later, thank you for tuning in at all. I said you show your support by just watching. And then if you feel like it, hit that like button. Let's jump right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about today is we got some stuff happening at O'Reilly. It looks like two O'Reilly employees were killed over an oil filter. Yes, I said it. 2 O'Reilly employees were killed over an oil filter. An oil filter of all things. But let's get into it. We got a few videos to look at. So let's jump into it and see what all this is about.
It's unfair to my kids and to Jesus' family.
2 men working at O'Reilly Auto Parts in the South Valley gunned down in the store parking lot on the evening of September 14th. It started after the 2 men, 47-year-old Richard Newman and 18-year-old Jesus Valdez, got into a dispute with a customer that quickly escalated.
And nobody deserves to be shot for doing their job.
Nobody.
Richard's wife, June Newman, received a call from her son saying there were police lights at the store his father worked at.
I was going to the movies when he called me and told me, Mom, something's going on at Mercy's or Dad's work.
June quickly called her husband and the store, but could not get through.
And he didn't answer.
Newman, along with her sons, arrived to find her husband of over 30 years lifeless on the ground.
All I wanted him to do is pick him up.
BCSO says it all started when 27-year-old Ismael Tena went in to exchange an oil filter and claimed the store also owed him free motor oil, which he took without paying. Newman and Valdez following him out of the store, and that's when the shooting happened. June Newman says it was just like her husband to protect others. She believes that's what prompted him to go outside and help his co-worker.
That's him, because it wasn't going to happen on his watch. Nobody was going to get hurt.
She says the two had worked together for a while, and her husband considered Valdez to be his work son. Newman describes her husband as selfless and a provider, the backbone of their family, saying he had just received a promotion.
Oh,
Hey, he was supposed to be the store manager and run the whole store. He was so happy.
The family of 5 now seeking justice for their
yeah,
father.
I understand. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So this whole thing started. This man came in there trying to exchange an oil filter. And then he was like, yeah, y'all owe me some oil. So he took it without paying. And they tried to run after him to get it. And I guess he shot him. Shot and killed both employees. Absolutely tragic. End of the day, he needs to go to jail. End of the day, he needs to go to jail. I don't know why he thought he was entitled to get some free oil. It's a tragic situation. But let's get over into this next video, see if we can learn any more details about it.
And right now at 5, you're going to see flowers and candles outside a local car parts store where a man reportedly shot and killed 2 employees. And one of those victims is just 18 years old.
Oh.
That double murder happened just yesterday afternoon.
Our Morgan Stevens went to that O'Reilly's auto parts store there in the South Valley. Morgan, hours later, deputies said they were still investigating.
Right, Tessa, Trevor, the store located off Coors and Blake was closed today as deputies continue to investigate what led up to an angry customer opening fire, killing 2 employees. This all happened just after 5 Sunday night in broad daylight. Deputies were called out to the store and found 47-year-old Richard Newman and 18-year-old Jesus Valdez shot. One died on the scene, the other at the hospital. Deputies say 27-year-old Ismael Rene Tena got into an argument with the 2 victims over his car's oil filters. Tena told deputies the 2 employees followed him out of the store and attacked him, and that's when he took his gun out of his truck, shot them, and drove off. Deputies say Tena told them he was scared for his life.
He gotta say
O'Reilly's Auto Parts Center.
he has to say he was scared for his life. End of the day. Now I don't know how he felt. I can't say how he felt. I don't know if he felt like he was gonna get jumped, and that's the reason why he ended up shooting these 2 people. But there's 2 different stories coming out. We got the story from that one news article talking about how he tried to take the oil and then they ran after him to stop him like they would do a normal shoplifter. And then you got the story where they ended up saying that they got into an argument and they tried to assault him. I'm assuming that's the story he's giving. And he ended up shooting. You gotta go. We got one other video to look at, but which one do you believe? Which story do you believe? Let's keep going.
Says this statement, we are grieving the loss of 2 team members and are focused on supporting their families and the rest of our team in the area. We're cooperating with the authorities as their investigation continues. We reached out to the sheriff's office, and while we couldn't get an interview today, they told us that it is still an active investigation. Same thing with the district attorney's office. They tell us they're reviewing the case to determine criminal charges. Tena is due in court later this week, and tonight at 6, the other run-ins Tena had with law enforcement, including another gun case. Tessa, Trevor.
Okay, let's get over into this last video and see if they give us any more information. At the end of the day, it's a tragic situation. 2 people lost their lives when they didn't need to. I don't think they were trying to assault him, but that is his story, and he has the right to tell whatever story he wants to. Let's get into this next one.
Family is mourning after their loved one and a coworker were shot and killed in southwest Albuquerque.
Reporter Alyssa Munoz is live at Coors and Blake, where police say it happened.
Well, Shelley, Doug, Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office say it happened at this O'Reilly's. Now, behind me, family and friends of the victims are out here paying their respects and condolences, some even putting candles up next to the door. Now, we did speak with one of the families earlier today, and here's what they had to say.
He was a hard worker, a provider.
He did everything for us.
Michael Newman, his brother and mom, telling us about his dad, Richard.
He was a lover, a provider. He cared. He did anything for anyone that he possibly could do, and that weight will forever weigh heavy on us.
Richard was shot and killed while working Sunday evening. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office says witnesses told deputies he and his 18-year-old coworker were arguing with Ishmael Tena, a customer, over an oil filter. Deputies say the fight continued outside where Tena grabbed a gun and shot both men.
We are numb. We're grieving. We're all come together to try to endure this tough moment in our lives. But as a family, we will get through this. He wouldn't want us to cry for him.
His wife said she'd known Richard since the 3rd grade and had been married for 30 years.
Wow. He was our sole provider. He did everything for us. I got sick, he was there. And he took me to all of my appointments because I can't drive.
Now, Tena has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder, and he told deputies that both men were fighting him before he grabbed his gun, and deputies say they didn't find any markings consistent with that statement. Reporting in Albuquerque, I'm Melissa Munoz, KWT Action 7 News.
Okay, so yeah, he was charged. So yeah, he tried to give a story saying that he was assaulted before. That obviously was not real because they didn't find any bruisings or markings on him. It's absolutely senseless. We got to pray for the family because it sounds like he was the sole provider. It sounds like it's going to be a difficult time for them, but they got to get through it. You got to get through it. It's a tragic situation all around. The 18-year-old, I know his family is grieving as well. Just trying to do his job. 18, even is at the start of his life, at the start of his adulthood. And trying to stop a customer from stealing and ended up getting your life ended. It's an absolutely tragic situation, absolutely tragic. It's never, I don't know why some people feel like that they can pick up a gun and use a gun to get their way. Because at the end of the day, that sounds like what he did. He tried to steal the oil filter. He said that they owed him, so he tried to take it. And when the employees, which they usually do if you try to shoplift, they'll run after you. And then he ends up picking up a gun and taking their lives. Now, he could have felt that he was going to get jumped, but it doesn't sound like they touched him or anything, but it's awful, absolutely awful, and he's going to jail for 2 murders at 27 years old. Islam, 27. You threw away your life for some oil. Absolutely tragic, everybody. Absolutely tragic. It goes to show you. You got to be careful, no matter where you're working, because something as simple as you trying to stop a shoplifter can get your life ended. You may be just doing your job, but some people don't care. I mean, some people have no remorse or don't care that you're trying to do your job and they're just trying to do what they want to do. Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. But this happened September 14th. And most recently, we got another article coming out about a landscaper who was killed by a homeowner's neighbor while doing his job. Now, what I've seen initially is that it seems like he got some dirt or soil or some grass on the neighbor's yard or the neighbor's property. And an argument ensued and the neighbor ended up shooting and taking his life. One thing I'm going to say is that there's no point in getting into heated arguments with people. I've said this several times. I'm not going to get into a heated argument with anybody. If you want to argue, you got it. You have the conversation. You won the conversation. Yeah, I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing. There's no point in getting into a heated argument with someone at my age. There's no way. But let's get over into this video and see what we can learn. See what we learn. People have to be careful. You don't know what somebody is capable of nowadays. You truly don't know what somebody is capable of nowadays. But let's get right into it.
And a suspect is in jail after police said he shot and killed that landscaper. Hello, I'm James Brown. Gabriel Enright is off today. Today's deadly violence was off Wyoming Street on Indiana Avenue in Dayton. That's where News Center 7's Mike Campbell joins us live. Mike, that situation got violent quickly.
It did, James, and this was all at 11 this morning in this normally quiet neighborhood. Now, police believe that a landscaping crew was working on this small retaining wall you see there, and it was right next door to the man police arrested. He apparently wasn't happy that some dirt and debris was blown onto his car, and it led to deadly violence.
To me, it's unfathomable.
Urgent 911 calls in the middle of the morning had Dayton officers rushing to this street. They discovered a man badly injured after he was shot.
Officers began life-saving techniques on the individual who had been shot until medics arrived.
Dayton rescue crews rushed the victim to the hospital, but told us he died there. Police spoke with other members of the landscaping crew and learned the suspected gunman had walked back into his own home.
And then I saw, about 15 officers break down his door and go in his house.
Police told us the man did not give them any trouble as they handcuffed him and took him into custody.
I don't know if they had some kind of altercation beforehand.
Did you recover the weapon? You know that?
The officers, when they went in to do their check, they said that the weapon is in the house.
Homicide detectives are now leading this investigation. Police said witnesses told them it appeared the gunman was upset when workers blew the sidewalk clear of debris and some of it hit his car. He confronted at least one worker, and that escalated very quickly into the fatal shots being fired.
I'd be interested to hear what the conversation was that led up to the shots being fired, because to me, it's silly. The guy's out here just doing a job and then gets harassed and ultimately, shot by somebody not even involved.
Back live here, police have not revealed the name of the man they arrested. Now, detectives served a search warrant here at the house this afternoon looking for any additional evidence in this case. Stay with us next hour because I'm working to bring you the story of how this seemingly senseless violence is impacting the people in this neighborhood. For now, reporting live in Dayton, Mike Campbell.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this next video to see what else we can find. But they killing people over getting dirt and debris on his vehicle. I'm not sure what kind of debris or dirt. Did it scratch his paint? I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't want to be. It's absolutely. At the end of the day, it's absolutely senseless. I don't care what happened to the car. I'm sure I would like to think that if the landscaper accidentally hit your car with some debris, he would apologize. And if there wasn't that much damage, but we don't know what the argument was about. But I don't think no matter what the argument was about, there's no need to kill somebody over getting debris on your vehicle. But at this point, they haven't told us anything about if there was a fight, a struggle, but it sounds like he went back in the house and got his gun. Now, if I'm mistaken, tell me, but if I've misheard it, tell me. But let's get over into this next video, and then we're going to get into a little article. It sounds like he was in court now.
First tonight, one person is dead after being shot while doing his job as a landscaper. Police say the shooting happened just as a neighbor was having an argument with the victim. 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh joins us now live from the newsroom. Sartaj, you were at that scene earlier today and talked with neighbors. What can you tell us?
Jack, neighbors that I talked with are shocked. They said that they never expected something like this to happen so close to them. Police also state that this whole situation is concerning, that an argument could turn deadly.
I Be interested to hear what the conversation was that led up to the shots being fired.
Police were called to the area of Indiana Avenue just after 11 a.m. Once they arrived, they found a man in front of a home suffering from a gunshot wound. The suspect was arrested. Medics transported the victim to a local hospital, but they later succumbed to their injuries. Police say the landscaping company was working on the home next to the suspect's house. That's when the suspect came out. An argument then happened that led to gunfire.
To me, it's silly. The guy's out here just doing a job and then gets harassed and ultimately, shot by somebody not even involved.
Those living in the area shocked to hear gunshots in the morning.
I noticed that officers were performing CPR on the man that was shot, right next to that silver car right.
Julian Hickman was in his home when he heard the gunshots. He says he didn't expect something like this to happen so close to his house.
And apparently it was just because they had gotten lawn clippings on his car and they had some kind of altercation, and then the guy shot him twice.
Two neighbors that I talked with that wished to not be shown on camera saw the shooting happen right in front of them as they were sitting on their porch.
I watched him pull the gun out of his pocket, and I says, "Oh God, tell me it's not a gun." And he shot him right there on the spot.
I looked down and saw the resident of 28 in the street with a gun shooting towards the workers, and he shot a couple times.
They even stated that they saw the suspect looking shocked after the shooting.
I saw was he just turned around and walked in the house like, "Oh, what the I just do?" Like he was in shock, like he was in disbelief that he did that.
Now, we are still working to figure out more on what led to the shooting. Dayton police say that they arrested the suspect without any incident. Live in the newsroom, Sartaj Singh, 2 News.
Absolutely crazy. You got to be careful nowadays. You have to be careful. Let's get over into this article. Give us a little bit more information about it. So as we see, suspect Travis Jackson, 36, pled not guilty in Dayton Municipal Court to 1 count of murder during his arraignment. He pled not guilty. He is being charged with murder of a landscaper, Tanner Stage, who was fatally shot in front of an Indiana Avenue home in East Dayton on Thursday, September 18th. When officers arrived on the scene, Jackson told them that he and Staggs, if I'm saying his last name, forgive me, had an argument over grass and dirt being on his vehicle from the land. So grass and dirt from the landscaping work. The argument led to Jackson allegedly coming into the roadway and shooting. The detective's statement of facts said that the landscaper suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Staggs was transported to the Miami Valley Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Jackson was given a $1 million bond. We understand the nature of the charges, said Anthony Van Von, Jackson's attorney. He is a lifelong resident in the community, and he is fully intent to defend this case. Defend this case from what? Jackson's next court appearance will be Monday, September 29th, where his preliminary hearing will take place. So, absolutely tragic. Let's see if we can find a picture of what he looks like. Just to, we like to look at the suspect and see if we can get. Oh my God, no. Let's see. So I'm assuming. Yeah. This is him. Well, hold on. No, that's drug charges. Deadly shooting of a landscaper. So this is him. Absolutely senseless. Absolutely crazy. But I don't know what kind of defense he will give. But I don't see self-defense in this. I don't. I mean, it's maybe he can say that he swung at him, but they had people watching it, so they got witnesses. And it didn't sound like that. The witnesses said that they got into a physical fight. Sounds like they were a heated argument. And the suspect ended up taking out his gun from his pocket and shooting the victim. Absolutely senseless. Going from an argument. See, that's why you don't need to get into heated arguments with people. Going from a heated argument, you don't know how people can control their emotions. So he went from a heated argument to feeling like he needed to take out his gun and shoot the other person. Absolute. And all this started from getting grass and dirt on his vehicle. Now, I've definitely seen landscapers blowing stuff and it hit my vehicle before. It's never been enough to where I wanted to get into a heated argument with somebody. I just go and wash my vehicle. Next time I'm going to wash my vehicle. And I am pretty positive if I told them to go over there and hit it with the leaf blower to get everything off of it, they would have done it. Absolutely tragic situation at the end of the day. It's an absolutely tragic situation. And we got to pray for the victim's family. He was out there doing his job, but you never know how people's emotions where it's going to take you. That's why I would have, if it was me, to be honest, I would have, as soon as he would have came, confronted me yelling, I would have been like, yes, sir, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It doesn't look like there's any damage to the vehicle. This is just my own situation. I don't know exactly how it went down, but then I would have been like, I don't know if he would have wanted some money or something. I don't know. It's an awful situation altogether. Tell me your thoughts, y'all. Tell me your thoughts. How much time do you think he should get? Do you think he can get away with self-defense? Because I'm assuming that's what they're going to go for. That's the just like in the last case. This self-defense is the motive that they love to go, the reasoning that they love to go to the quickest, because it can just waive everything that you did. But I don't think it's going to work. But it's their right to have their own defense and go through however they feel like. But we just got to wait, and I'll keep up with the case so we can see how it goes. The next court case was September 29th, so we're going to see that, and also all the other cases that we look at. Absolutely tragic situation, everybody. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. It's a crazy world, but at the end of the day, what I always say, we got to review the world together. We have to review the world together. We're going to pivot over into we got a deadly hit and run that ended up taking the life of a young child with autism, younger child with autism. Not too young. I think he was teens, but it's still a tragic situation no matter how old the victim is. But it seems like they got a suspect, and then we got two videos to look at, and it looks like his daughter is both upset and defending, or upset and worried about the father who did the hit and run. But let's get over into it and see what all information we can get from this case. Let's jump right into it. As you see, this is the picture of the young boy who lost his life. Absolutely crazy. Let's get into it.
All right, so earlier in our newscast, you saw Sherman DeSalle following some breaking news. But before we had to send him to that story, he was working on a heartbreaking story in our community where a family shared their pain with him after their 19-year-old son, Landon Graham, a nonverbal child with autism, was hit and killed by a hit-and-run driver. A suspect is now in custody. Here's Sherman with the family's emotional reaction.
Yeah, here in League City, police have arrested 62-year-old James Collins Jr. in relation to the crash that took Landon's life. The family says that they're relieved that an arrest has been made, but still grieving, still devastated about the whole ordeal. Police say the crash happened September 16th on West Main Street, and Landon was hit by two vehicles. The second driver stopped to help, but detectives say Collins drove off in a gray Toyota Tundra. He was in the first vehicle.
Hold on. So he was hit by two separate vehicles. Now, what my question is, was he trying to cross the street? Like, what's the whole situation? I need to know that. Was he in the street?
Landon died the next day in the hospital. Collins is now charged with collision involving death. His bond is set at $250,000.
It has been very devastating for her. It's been very, very hard. She's having to make decisions that no mother ever expects to make for their child. Stop. Render aid the best that you can. Call 911. Get help.
James Collins Jr.'s bond is set at $250,000 at last check. He's still in custody. If you have any eyewitness statements or video that can help police to find out more information about what happened there that night, contact them. Reporting from League City, Sherman DeSalle, Fox 26 News.
Yeah, it's a tragic situation. Like I said, I do have some questions. Where was the hit and run? Was he crossing the street? Did he understand that he shouldn't cross the street? Was it a time where he shouldn't have been crossing the street? But at the end of the day, he did lose his life, and a man drove away after hitting someone. That right there is the crime itself. It's tragic that the young teen lost his life, but there's some questions I gotta ask. But absolutely crazy. Let's get into this next video, and then I'll see if we can find an article.
Unfortunately, that politicization has, and so prior to
Fox 26 News at 9 starts now.
And good evening to you. I'm Tom Ziska. We're glad to have you with us. We begin with the daughter of a man accused in a fatal hit-and-run crash speaking out and defending her father. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia is here with details. Jonathan.
That's right. Well, Kaylee Triola tells me it's an unfortunate situation for both families. One is mourning the loss of their 19-year-old son, and the other is battling the reality that their 62-year-old father is under arrest and facing charges.
I was heartbroken just for everybody involved. Being a mother myself, I couldn't imagine something like that ever happening to my son. And then, heartbroken for my stepdad, James, too.
League City Police arrested 60-year-old James Collins Jr. and charged him with collision involving death for allegedly striking and killing 19-year-old Landon Graham, who was a nonverbal autistic teenager.
I just know that in my heart, I could never, ever see him doing something like that and leaving somebody in distress, and even if it were an animal in distress.
Kaylee Triola felt the need to speak out and fight for her father, a man who isn't her biological father but helped raise her and her siblings. Court records confirmed that Collins had an extensive criminal history in Harris and Galveston counties, including previous arrests for drug possession and driving with suspended license.
I wish that everybody could learn all of the facts before casting any kind of judgment, and remember that it's not our job to judge others.
Fox 26 spoke with a family friend of the teenager, and they're distraught, which is something Triola emphasizes with them.
It has been very devastating for her. It's been very, very hard.
My heart and prayers go out to them. And I just, honestly, I can't imagine how everybody must be feeling.
Despite Collins receiving a lot of negativity, his daughter says they will always support him.
Just that I love him very much, and that all of us are praying for him, and we all know in our hearts the truth, and I'm going to be there for him and fight for him as much as I can.
Collins' bond has been set at $250,000. I'm reporting live here in the studio tonight. Jonathan Mejia, Fox 26 News.
Absolutely tragic. Now I did have some, like I said, I have questions. So I found this article by Fox. Let's get into it. It gives us a little better picture of what exactly he was doing outside. But, well, not too much of a picture, but it tells us something. So like they said, police have arrested a 62-year-old man in connections with the hit and run of a 19-year-old. See, the daughter's saying that she doesn't believe that he would do this, but I'm assuming all the evidence pointed to him. They found the vehicle that had the marks on it. Like, what do you mean he don't? I understand you would never want to believe that someone you care about and someone you look up to would do something like this, but it obviously happened. It happened, and he has to face the consequences for it. But was involved with the hit and run death of a 19-year-old with nonverbal teen with autism who was struck and killed after leaving his home earlier this week. So the backstory, this is what we wanted to get into. Investigators said Landon Graham, described by his family as full of joy, left his house unnoticed on the night of September 16th. So he left unnoticed. His family says leaving the home on his own is not something that he would regularly do. So my question was he walking in the road? So if that's not something he regularly does, or he doesn't walk on his own by himself, did he know that where he was walking was safe? Was he walking in the street? At the end, like I said, it doesn't matter what he was doing, because someone ended up dying, and it was a hit and run. So that itself is a crime. You can't just hit someone and just leave the scene of an accident. But I don't know if he was in the road walking at night. I don't know how late it was, but it says at night. If he was just in the road, if they can blame it on the person. I don't know exactly all the laws on that. So tell me your thoughts, y'all. But it says that not something he would regularly do. He was walking in the 3300 block of West Main when he was struck by a vehicle that fled the scene. His second driver hit Graham moments later, but stayed. So the first vehicle hit him, and then just kept going. The second vehicle hit him again, but this one was stopped. So good people. There are good people out in the world. But stayed and called 911. Graham was taken to the local hospital, where he died the following day. So that's a picture. Do we got some other pictures? Okay, some other pictures of him and his family. Sweet boy. He looks like a sweet boy. I don't care about that. Detectives later identified the first vehicle as a late model gray Toyota Tundra and arrested James Collins Jr. of League City. Collins was charged with the collision involving death and is being held on $250,000 bond. Court records confirm Collins had an extensive criminal history in Harris and Galveston counties, including previous arrests for drug possession and driving with a suspended license. Wow. The family is hoping for a higher bond or his bond to be revoked. So $250,000 sounds like a lot. So he has to come up with 10% of that. So $250,000, just do the math. So he has to come up with $25,000. Yeah, $25,000. Is that enough bond for that? I don't know. The boy's mother, Leslie, a single parent and his full-time caregiver, is now planning his funeral. A GoFundMe campaign was launched this week to help cover expenses, with the family members describing Graham as the kindest, most loving soul who was truly one of a kind. The League City Police are continuing to investigate the crash, and detectives are asking anybody with videos of the collision to submit it, or of Graham walking in the area prior to the crash. So I'm assuming they want to see where exactly he was walking. But maybe that's wrong, because they might, just from where he was hit, can tell that. But it's, at the end of the day, it's a tragic situation, and a young kid, 19 years old, lost his life. There, like I said, there's still questions. Where was he walking? Because they said he doesn't usually walk. Like in this statement right here, his family says that leaving the home on his own is not something that he would regularly do, but he left the house unnoticed. So it's a lot of questions. So tell me your thoughts, y'all. Do you think, how much time do you think he should get? And do you think it makes a difference if he was walking in the street or not? It's a tragic situation all around, but we have to ask these questions, because at the end of the day, we're trying to review the world together. We want all the information we can. So we'll keep up with this to see if there's any more information. But right now, they didn't mention the second person. I'm assuming the first one, since the first person hit them and left, but the second person, I don't know. They're charging the first person. They don't mention anything about them charging the second person who hit them. But I'm assuming the first person is the main one who matters. The first person is the main one who matters. Absolutely tragic situation all around, but wow. We got to review the world together. Please, at the end of the day, y'all, please look after your children. Please look after your children. It sounds like, just from that statement or the little section of the article we reread, he left the house unnoticed. You have to keep an eye on your kids. You truly have to. I don't know if that played a part into it, but it could have. I'm assuming that played a part into it, but We won't know until more information comes out and we find out exactly what was going on. Where was he walking at? Was he just walking in the street? Did he know that that you're supposed to walk on the sidewalk or away from the cars? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of questions. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a tragic situation. We got to pray for the family, and they got to get through it. They got to get through it. And they might not be happy with his bond or what the case does, but I believe that the police are investigating it, and then they're within the law. They're gonna try him to the best of their ability within the reason of the law. But absolutely crazy. Now let's pivot. We got to pivot over into a man named Timothy Taylor. So Timothy Taylor, you probably don't know this man. You probably don't know who that is, but Timothy Taylor is a man who was on the run about 2 years ago for killing his ex-wife and his pregnant girlfriend. So he's most recently going to be sentenced soon, and that popped up on my algorithm, so I had to go do a hunt about when it first happened. So we got a video from 2 years ago when it was first announced that he was on the run for the double murder, and when he was captured, and the most recent stuff that just came out. So let's get over into that. But killing your ex-wife and pregnant girlfriend. There are some sick people in the world. But let's get right into these videos.
Tonight, a manhunt underway for the person of interest believed to be connected to the separate murders of his girlfriend and his ex-wife.
One victim was found dead in her Brooklyn apartment earlier this month, and the other killed in Schenectady over the weekend. CBS 2's Allie Bauman explains.
This is the man police are looking for, 35-year-old Timothy Taylor. NYPD sources tell us he is a person of interest in the murder of Teresa Gregg, a 37-year-old mother stabbed to death in her Williamsburg apartment earlier this month.
Teresa Gray was an amazing, vibrant woman who was full of life.
The victim was an officer for the Department of Homeless Services. She was found dead in her bedroom by her 2 daughters. Taylor was the victim's boyfriend.
He had his up and down, sometimes he's mad, sometimes he's happy.
One neighbor, who asked to be anonymous, told us about his last encounter with Taylor.
Told me that, he just got engaged to her and she's pregnant.
2 weeks after Teresa Gregg was killed, early Sunday morning, police in Schenectady, New York, say Taylor's ex-wife, 44-year-old Tashawn Folks Taylor, was killed in her home upstate.
She was very outgoing. Didn't hurt nobody.
The victim's brother told me after they divorced in 2021, his sister got an order of protection against Taylor.
Had she said that he was being violent to her, hurting her?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Is that why they separated?
Yes, I was so proud of her to make that move. I was very proud of her.
He says their 2 children, 6 and 10 years old, were home when she died.
Domestic violence is something that just doesn't happen in one day. It is something that happens slowly over a period of time.
Stephanie McGraw works with domestic violence victims in New York and knew Teresa Gregg.
So we encourage women to tell your story, because by telling your story.
There's now a $5,000 reward for information leading to his whereabouts. In Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
So, like I said, that was 2 years ago, and we got a video of him being captured here, but killing his girlfriend in her home, and then before that, he killed his ex-wife, who already had a protection order against him. Now, we've talked about this before with the man who killed his ex-wife in Detroit at the hospital. She was on the way, or she was in the process of getting a protection order. It was never served, but if someone really wants to hurt you, the protection order is not going to work. If they already got plans to unalive you, it's not going to make a difference. But let's get over into this video and watch him being arrested.
The man accused of killing his ex-wife and his girlfriend in 2 separate murders is now under arrest. U.S. Marshals took Timothy Taylor into custody this morning in Philadelphia. They say he's the suspect in the murder of his girlfriend, Teresa Gregg, killed in Williamsburg last month. And investigators say Taylor is also linked to the murder of his ex-wife, Tishwan Folks Taylor, upstate in Schenectady.
Absolutely crazy. Now let's get into this last video. This is the most recent thing. And it sounds like he said that she deserved it. There's some horrible people in this world.
A Brooklyn man sentenced for stabbing his ex-wife to death inside her Schenectady home just weeks after allegedly killing his pregnant girlfriend. CBS 6's Sam Israel live outside the Schenectady County Courthouse right now with the latest. Sam.
Yeah, good evening, Greg. Sentencing here at the Schenectady County Courthouse actually got delayed a bit because Timothy Taylor refused to enter the courtroom. Prosecutors say that was because he did not want to appear on camera. He later did enter after the judge ordered the video media rights to be revoked, but during the sentencing failed to acknowledge the orders of protection. Prosecutors say and believe he did that in order to delay the sentencing. That being said, the judge still sentenced him to 22 years to life under the July plea agreement.
He is one of the most horrible defendants that we have prosecuted.
Carney says Taylor's behavior in court showed efforts to delay the process.
He said he didn't want to be on camera.
And the judge didn't hold back when handing out the sentencing.
That 22 to life, that means life in this case. I mean, there's no way they're letting you out. No way. It's cold-blooded, premeditated murder. And that's what I'm looking at.
100% agree.
I'm straight up killer.
Prosecutors say in May of 2023, Taylor took a bus from North Carolina, checked into a Schenectady hotel, then broke into his ex-wife's home, stabbing her more than 20 times in front of her 3 children. Wow. 2 of them were his. Taylor already faced 3 domestic violence cases against him, and just weeks earlier, he was suspected in the death of his pregnant girlfriend in Brooklyn.
The fact that he was so animated by hatred that he decided he needed to kill Tishwana after committing a murder in Brooklyn of his current wife. I mean, just going in the middle of the night to her house and stabbing her to death in their own daughter's room. It's cold-blooded and vicious a person as we've seen.
Taylor fled to Philadelphia, but was arrested days later by federal authorities and brought back to New York. And following this sentencing, Taylor has now been remanded and will begin serving out his sentence. Reporting live in Schenectady tonight, Sam Israel, CBS 6 News.
Absolutely crazy. They said that he broke into the ex-wife home and stabbed her over 20 times in front of the 3 kids. I don't know if they were just in the room or if they were in the house, but 3, and then 2 of them were here. There are some sick people in this world. There are some truly sick people in this world. But let's see if we can get any more information. It says that he was sentenced to 22 years to life, and even the judge says, but it's most likely going to be life because you are a sick human being. You are a sick human being. He didn't say that word for word, but it sounds like it. 22 times. So let's see. Let's get over into. Let me pull this up so we can look at it together. So, man who stabbed his ex-wife 22 times is sentenced to 22 years in prison. Let's see. The man. Let's zoom in some for everybody to see. Let's see. The man who stabbed his ex-wife, to death inside of Mount Pleasant apartment in front of their young daughter in 2023 has been sentenced to 22 years and to life in prison. Recounted Monday how the defendant, Timothy Taylor, initially refused to enter the courtroom. He eventually relented when the judge told him the media rights have been revoked. Taylor was represented by attorney, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Says that Taylor claims that he is innocent. It says that Taylor's claims that he was innocent are disputed by the mountain of evidence that the police and prosecutors amassed against him, including his confession to 2 police officers that he fatally stabbed both his former wife, Tashawn, and his current wife, Thaisha, Ms. Gregg, in Brooklyn. Their deaths occurred 2 weeks apart. Taylor admitted that he killed Greg 37 on May 13th, 2023 with a screwdriver inside of her Brooklyn apartment. Newlyweds had only been married for a month. He fled to North Carolina. While he was there, he realized that Thaisha, if I'm screwing the names up, I'm sorry, didn't deserve to die because she was nice to him. But the one who really deserves to die was Taylor, his ex-wife, because according to him, she lied about him and restricted his access to his 2 children together. Said that adding that the girl was 6 and the boy was 10. Prosecutors said that Taylor, 44, was killed after Taylor broke into their home in the middle of the night on May 28th, 2023, armed with a knife he used to stab her 22 times. Both children were home at the time, and the young child told authorities that she saw what happened and that their daddy did it. Oh my God. Absolutely crazy. Police said that they found Taylor unconscious after responding to a call of a person in need of medical help. She died of trauma. Police quickly identified Taylor as the person of interest. He went on a run until he was captured in June 2023 in Philadelphia. And in the case, he was captured on surveillance camera leaving the state motel and walking to Taylor's home. He later returned to the motel via taxi, ditching a black hoodie and white thermal shirt. Police, where's that white thermal? Where did it go? Police recovered those clothing items, which said linked Taylor to the crimes through DNA testing. They say they rejected a defense motion to suppress Taylor's confession, and the defense attempted to withdraw his guilty plea. Taylor had claimed that he was forced to take a plea agreement and that an inmate at the county jail had confessed to the homicide. The jurors also ruled that Taylor was competent to stand trial. They said on Monday that Taylor had a long history of domestic violence against multiple women and that he was convicted of murder in Brooklyn. He could receive a penalty that would run consecutively to the 22 years to life in prison sentence he received. Absolutely wild. Crazy situation. Tried to delay court. But he did it in front of one of his kids. They seen it. That's the hard thing. You got the kids gonna have to do some type of therapy. They're gonna have to do something. But it's been years. It's been what, 2 years now. So hopefully they've been doing better. But they did lose their mother and they lost their dad. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Tell me your thoughts on that whole situation. But 22 years to life. 22 years to life and most likely life. I don't feel bad if it's life. I don't. Man did some horrible things. That's just the one sentence. They haven't even done the other sentence. I think that was just for the wife, I believe. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Or ex-wife. But let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Let me know what you feel about that situation. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we got to go to another situation about a woman being fatally stabbed by her boyfriend. We got to go to another situation about it. And she was fatally stabbed by her boyfriend in Brooklyn. So we got 2 videos to watch of that. At the end of the day, y'all, No matter who, man, women, be careful who you pick as a partner. Be careful. Because it could be the last decision or the worst decision you ever make in your life. I mean, it doesn't have to end as badly as this or as horribly as this, but it can still be one of the worst decisions you make in your life. So you got to choose your partners carefully. Got to choose your partners carefully. But let's get over into these videos and see what all this whole situation is about. See what this whole situation is about. Beautiful girl, beautiful. Let's get into it.
Thanks for joining us here on News 12 The Bronx. I'm Amanda Bossard, and police have charged a man in the deadly stabbing of his girlfriend near City Island. He was escorted out of the 45th precinct in handcuffs. Take a look as 44-year-old Franklin Batallas held his head and didn't say anything as he was walked to a car. That will take him to court to face his charges. News 12's Natalie Hernandez outside of the precinct with the latest on what this investigation revealed. Natalie.
Yeah, Amanda, we're outside of the 45th precinct right now where police just walked out with 44-year-old Franklin Batallas, and he's being charged with murder in connection to the stabbing death of his girlfriend, 30-year-old Antonella. He kept his head down, and her family says now they want justice.
Police say Contreras Linares was stabbed multiple times Wednesday night near City Island Road. She was rushed to Montefiore New Rochelle Hospital, where she died from her injuries. Her 44-year-old boyfriend, Batallas, drove them both to the hospital, where he had a stab wound to the forearm.
When he took her to the hospital, he left the hospital right away, and that's why the cops felt some type of way.
Her family says he tried to say the stabbing happened as a result of a mugging gone wrong, but they never believed his story and always thought he was responsible.
How are you going to take your wife to the hospital after a robbery when you know she got stabbed and you're just going to leave?
100% correct. Come on now. We got to use our context clues. There's no way that you and your wife was stabbed or your girlfriend was stabbed and you are also stabbed, but you just drop her off at the hospital? Come on now. We got to use our context clues. Yeah, he right. Come on.
You don't even call her mother. You don't even call the family.
Family says the couple had recently broken up after living together in her Bronx apartment. They claim he had been stalking her in the weeks before the killing, and just days ago, Contreras Linares returned from a vacation in the Dominican Republic. Her cousin tells us her mother spoke to her around 7 that night, where she said she was going to dinner with her boyfriend. An hour later, she was dead.
She was just a good person, a good friend of the family, a good cousin, a good daughter. It's just painful.
Antonella was a nurse, and her family tells me they just want her to be remembered for the good she did for them and her community. They say their hearts are broken, and she will be deeply missed. From the 45th precinct, Natalie Hernandez, News 12, The Bronx.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get into this next video, see if we can learn anything else.
A man's charged in the stabbing death of his girlfriend after apparently claiming they were both victims of an attack. Welcome to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Steve Lacey. Natasha has the night off. Sources telling Fox 5 the suspect lied to cops, saying 2 knife-wielding moped riders were to blame. Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino is on City Island with the details.
This is just heartbreaking. Police say her boyfriend stabbed her to death. And people who lived with her in this big, beautiful new building in the Bronx say not only are they shocked by the crime, but by the idea that the man she loved could have been her killer. Detectives walked 44-year-old Franklin Batallas out of the 45th precinct in handcuffs Friday afternoon. He's charged with murder, 2 counts of assault, and criminal possession of a weapon. Batallas lived with his girlfriend, Antonella Contreras Linares, at this Westchester Avenue building. According to sources, Batallas told police the couple left home Wednesday night to get dinner on City Island. Along the way, he claimed his girlfriend needed to urinate, so they pull over along a wooden stretch of City Island Road. That's when he claims 2 men on mopeds pulled up. He ran off. She fought back. They stabbed her over and over again. Batallas claims he came back, tried to intervene, and was slashed in the arm, and then drove himself and his girlfriend to Montefiore New Rochelle Hospital. But neighbors are not buying.
Come on now, hold on. We gotta stop. You said he tried to claim. I don't know too many women who are going to. I mean, it's different for a man, but I don't know too many women who are gonna be just use the bathroom outside, especially in a wooded area. I mean, maybe if push comes to shove, but nah, I don't know too many women. Women will usually hold it, but that might just be my own guesses and my own thinking. But if I'm wrong, tell me. If it doesn't matter, but yeah, I wouldn't think so. But let's keep going.
I don't believe it. Because honestly speaking, that's a great woman, and I felt like that guy did not deserve her whatsoever. If you'd have met the woman, the woman's so nice, so sweet, her voice is so soft.
Investigators say the evidence contradicts his story and instead points to him as the killer. Neighbors in this new building where the couple lived say they're just heartbroken and angry. Her
That
boyfriend?
lady has been nothing but an angel. She greets my kids in the elevator. She greets security. She even holds the door for me when I'm coming out. That lady has done nothing wrong, but as far as that lady, she's been nothing but an angel. Angel heaven sent. She's been sweet and kind to everybody in this building.
Police are not saying what exactly they believe happened in the moments leading up to this young woman's death. All we know for sure is that she was stabbed multiple times and her boyfriend is charged with murder. If he is convicted, he faces decades behind bars. In the Longwood section of the Bronx, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, I understand him. Let's get over into this, a little bit more detail about it, because I love to get some more details about this situation. Let's zoom in some. So just the AI overview. We don't need to go into an article. We can, but let's see. As of September 22nd, 2025, a Brooklyn man has been charged with the murder after allegedly stabbing his girlfriend to death, and attempting to stage the crime as a random attack. So, see, we got the 30-year-old and Tony. See, I'm not good with names. And we got her boyfriend, the suspect, 44-year-old Franklin. Happened on September 17th, 2025, near location near Park Drive and City Island Road in Bronx. So what happened? So he brought his severely wounded girlfriend to the hospital and claimed that she was stabbed during a mugging by two men on a moped while he was urinating outside. Okay, I thought they said that she was. I was mistaken. While he was urinating outside of their parked car. Let's see that she died at the hospital from multiple stab wounds to her face. An investigation by the NYPD revealed inconsistencies in the story. Police found no evidence of a moped attack in the Department of Transportation surveillance footage along the route. Evidence included his hair. Let's see, her hair found on. Let's see, Batista's hand. So it found, including Lorenzo, her hair found on Batista's hands, suggesting a struggle. Wait. Is that backwards? Let me. We got to go into a news article because AI messing up. Let's get into it. Let's see. So ABC. Let's see. So it was charged, 30 arrested, coming to police say. A boyfriend come up with a story. He told police that it was at the park around 8 p.m. Investigators arrested him in connection with the murder. Police say there was a process of breaking up. Let's see. Is mourning the loss of one of their own. We wish the heartfelt condolences. What was that hair thing? See, you can't just go off of what you read. You got to look at multiple sources. You have to look at multiple sources to see if there's any. Okay. Pulled over, ran off, attacked. What we don't know, police said that we believe what happened immediately. We don't know what immediately happened before the stabbing. So I don't know what that hair thing was that AI was talking about. But yeah, be careful. We got to look at multiple things now. We got to look at multiple things. 40-year-old possession, mugging, urinated. Walked out of the Bronx precinct Saturday. Was described as having a jealous streak and was in the process of breaking up with him unfolded around 8:10. When she went, okay, so to urinate, at which point two black men on mopeds dressed in all black with hoodies pulled up to the car and demanded money from her. When she refused, he claimed that they repeatedly stabbed her in the face, neck, and body and slashed him in the left arm after he ran from the bushes in a vain to attempt to save her. Attackers then supposedly drove off. Police were skeptical from the start of the investigation. Noting there were few, if any, surveillance cameras near where the suspect said the attack happened. It wasn't clear exactly where the murder happened. From the very beginning, his story didn't seem right. The police source told the news it didn't add up. Police found, okay, here it is. Police found, so the boyfriend's hair on her hand. Okay. I was confused. They had it backwards. So they found his hair in her hands, which indicated a fierce struggle, sources say. So that's where AI had it backwards. So you got to be careful, y'all. You got to be careful when you just look at the AI overview. So sometimes you got to deep dive into this stuff. Police, the boyfriend also was also said to have wounds, and police were trying to determine if he slashed himself on purpose or by accident, as he was attempting as he was attacking her. The suspect had one prior arrest for driving while abilities impaired by alcohol in 2018. A girlfriend's family Bronx apartment in East Tremont early Friday evening. Her grieving parents and sisters, surrounded by half dozen relatives, condemned him. Yeah. Her mother said that she attended Bronx Community College, Layman's College, and Mantonville University. See, there's a lot of names now. Was registered as a nurse at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan, which hoping to study to become an anesthesiologist. He hurt her. Her mother said, he took her from me. He took her from me, and she was my shining light. She was my shining light. She was my shining light. She ran the marathon. She was part of the dance group, and she went there every Friday. It was very hard. We never expected this. We knew that he was aggressive, but we never thought that it would come to this. My sister was everything to me. Her father thanked the NYPD detectives for their professionalism in solving the case. He said the couple had problems like all couples. As a father, I'm devastated. He said, I want him to suffer the full penalty of the law. Her mother said. Her sister, who the family said owned and managed a optical store, met in a restaurant and had been together 6 years. He came to the U.S. 11 years ago, like the rest of her family. Absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic, y'all. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts on this whole situation. He tried to lie about it, but they ended up finding his hair in her hands, clutching it. Absolutely tragic situation. Like always, tell me if you disagree with anything I said. Tell me if, I don't know why you would, but hey, everybody has a right to their opinion. It's an absolute tragic situation, but we had to look into it. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Some sick people in this world who don't care. Who truly don't care. He tried to lie about it, tried to play it off, but no. The evidence pointed against him, and no. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Now we gotta pivot. We gotta pivot now over into an assisted living facility. So we got a former assisted living worker suspected of sexual assault of women with disabilities, and it's just, like I said, I always say there's some sick people in this world, but we got to look into it. We got to review the world together. So let's get over into this and see what all this is about. Well, it's just one video on this, but it's people are nasty. People are truly nasty.
A new at 6, a man is looking for his lost dog when police said he stopped a rape.
You don't play with anybody's safety. Anybody, that's someone's daughter, someone's mom, someone's sister, cousin.
The victim is developmentally disabled. Police said the suspect was supposed to be taking care of her. New here at 6, News Center 7's John Bedell spent the day working to get new information on this story. I'm James Brown. Gabrielle Enright is off tonight. John joins us live in Dayton. John, the guy who jumped in to help said he felt like he was put in the right place at the right time.
And that right place, James, is right where we're at right now, the alley that runs behind his house right here along Burkhardt Avenue. I want to show you his gate. He had told me he had left it open for his runaway dog, and he had a hunch to look out the back window at it on Tuesday, and he noticed it was all of a sudden closed. And he thought, I didn't close my gate. Who closed my gate? So he came to check it out, and after that, he now says he thinks the suspect had closed it to try and hide a crime. On our walk down his back alley, Travis Underwood told me he's been looking for his dog, Picasso.
My dog ran away. I left the gate open so he'd have a chance to come back.
But when he noticed someone closed his gate, he went to investigate. He says what he found
Made me start crying, throw up.
made him physically sick.
It was just a hard thing to even realize, like, is this really happening? Is this really going on right now?
Dayton police say it was a rape. Travis broadcasted live on social media as he confronted the suspect.
Why you ain't call the police? I don't want to. Why? I bet you don't. I don't want to give you the keys.
And took his keys so he couldn't get away. Travis's friend called 911. The victim, a woman in a van with several developmentally disabled adults in it. Court documents say she requires 24-hour care and is a GraceWorks Lutheran Services patient. Police say she was in the care of the suspect, Anthony Alcorn. We've confirmed Alcorn was working as a transport driver for GraceWorks. The agency helps adults with developmental disabilities. GraceWorks told us they fired Alcorn immediately.
The court has reviewed the pretrial screening report, the safety assessment report.
A judge told Alcorn Thursday he's facing charges of rape, kidnapping, and gross sexual imposition. Travis's neighbors are praising him.
I've been here 18 years now, and everybody says what a bad neighborhood, but I have good neighbors here. They watch out for each other.
Travis says he was just doing the right thing.
And she couldn't even protect herself. You got to look out for people that can't defend themselves.
The judge told Alcorn this afternoon he needs $500,000 to get out of jail. If he comes up with that money, the judge said he'll be on house arrest with a GPS ankle monitor. He pleaded not guilty to the charges today, and two of his family members told me no comment after court. We're live in Dayton tonight. I'm John Bedell, News Center 7.
And News Center 7 got a statement from GraceWorks Lutheran Services, the suspect's employer. Part of it said, "We want to be clear that we are taking this matter extremely seriously." The employee was taken into custody and immediately terminated. You can see the full statement at WHIO.com.
Yeah, it's a tragic situation. I was looking for an article on it, but it doesn't look like there's any more details other than what we just seen, but it's a tragic situation. It can't be, if we're being honest, it's probably not the first time. It's probably not the first time. He chose those victims because he knew that they most likely wouldn't tell on him. It's a terrible thing. And you have to be careful about where you place your older parents. We have to be careful as we get older, and you have to start thinking about assisted living facilities. You have to be careful because some people don't have their older parents and grandparents' best interest in heart. They're only looking after themselves. Luckily, that was a good man who investigated and just didn't just go about his way. He noticed something strange and he acted on it. He took the time to look into it. He said he found something horrible, and he acted on it. So we got to praise him. We got to thank him for doing what any good, caring person would do and should do. But in end of the day, it's a tragic situation. We don't know what all he has done. because it can't be the first time. He had multiple people in the van with him. Yeah, I don't think it was the first time, but there are some sick people in this world. Y'all, sick people. It's absolutely crazy. Hopefully they can track down exactly what all he's done, but they already fired him and they're charging him. I don't know how much time he'll get, but I don't know if it'll be enough for the things that he did, because that is awful, awful, awful. Taking advantage of the older with several mental issues. You know, some people don't deserve to be out here with regular civilians. Simple as that. Some people don't deserve to be out here with regular civilians. You saw how his place of employment, the assisted living facility, immediately condemned him and terminated him, because this is a very serious offense. You got to think about your investors and the other people, how many people he's actually hurt. I don't know if we'll ever get an accurate number of how many people he actually hurt. It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world we live in. Got to review the world together, though. We got to review the world together. Remember, y'all, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, because these stories, we got to bring these stories to people's attention. We got to bring these stories to people's attention, because absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. We're going to pivot over let's get into have y'all heard about the Hudson Bayous? We got several bodies that are found in the Hudson's Bayous. There's several. We got a few videos to look at. I think 3 videos to look at from here. One going back 6 years, talking about all the people who died, and then we got some videos coming up to the more recent time, and one just most recently came out yesterday or 2 days ago. It's a lot of people have been found, bodies have been found in the Hudson Bayou. So let's get over into it and see what our thoughts are.
Beneath the murky and slow-moving current of Houston's bayous are secrets buried deep underwater, junk, abandoned cars, and even bodies. In 2015, Channel 2 Investigates discovered hundreds of vehicles submerged in local bayous. We really began looking into it, and 3 years later, the story is more grim. Dozens of people found dead along waterways in Harris County since 2015. Investigator Joel Eisenbaum discovered at least 40 cases. Tonight, he's telling their stories and revealing the deadliest stretch of water in the county.
This summer,
I heard someone screaming, "Help me!"
on Greens Bayou, 58-year-old Rebecca Sue Heinrich was found in the water, dismembered. The same month on Brays Bayou.
I was like, I think that's a body.
On Buffalo Bayou, and then Sims Bayou. In July, 4 bayous with 4 bodies that got us thinking.
How many are in there?
Channel 2 Investigates, led by Texas EquiSearch CEO Tim Miller, has ventured into Houston's murky depths before.
I believe it was May the 12th of 2014 when Channel 2 broke the news with Joel Eisenbaum.
A few years ago, Miller's team discovered and mapped the staggering number of sunken cars hidden in our bayous.
I thought it was body. Oh.
Now Channel 2 Investigates is mapping the bodies. In Harris County alone, we discovered at least 40 dead people have been pulled from our bayous since 2015.
It's stunning. I mean, I'm almost speechless. I don't know what to think of it.
Of the 40, we found only 6 were clear-cut homicides. In twice as many cases, the manner of death remains undetermined. Autopsy records show the greatest share of victims met their end by accidental drowning.
After taking a closer look at the numbers, it would in fact appear that most of the people who die in our bayous don't die by murder, but sometimes by misadventure.
My brother's name is Michael Edwards. I was pretty much devastated.
In February, 59-year-old Michael Edwards, a carpenter by trade, apparently lost his footing and slipped. into Bray's Bayou.
There was a witness that saw him go into the bayou, but by the time they couldn't find him.
Hours later, they did. Edwards had drowned along a curious stretch in southeast Houston. Since 2015, 7 other bodies have surfaced in the same 3-mile section of Bray's Bayou.
Absolutely crazy. How much time?
It's an area we know well.
It's just curious to me that these bodies are found in the same stretch where all those bayou cars are.
Wonder if it is a coincidence. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to put my boat in the water right now that we came up with this information.
With the busy Gulf Freeway on one end, where 40-year-old Douglas Mills was stabbed and dumped in April, this area is well-traveled, with easy access for most. Heartbreak for some.
I still have trouble believing it.
Dozens of unfortunate stories that we've now mapped. Want to take a closer look? We've got this clickable map on click2houston.com. You can find it under the Investigate section. Joel Eisenbaum, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Absolutely crazy. Let's get over into this more recent stuff. So let's get over into that.
In less than a week, a third body was found in a bayou here in Houston. Today, one was found in the White Oak Bayou near Taylor Street. Our records indicate it is the 12th one found in a bayou here this year alone. Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle was on the scene earlier, and tonight he is looking into the growing but also the mysterious issue here in our city.
The Houston Police Department reports yet another body was found in the bayou. On Tuesday, police say they received a call about a body seen on the 2300 block of Taylor Street in the White Oak Bayou area. We were there as the body was retrieved by medical examiners. The details are limited at this time. This is the third body reported in a bayou just this week. And on Monday, a body was found in a canal near Greens Bayou off the East Freeway. Also, another reported on Bray's Bayou near Medical Service Drive at Spur 5. So our records show that this makes 12 bodies reported in local bayous for the year of 2025. So should you be concerned? And what's the deal with all of these bodies popping up in bayous? A lot of people walk, bike, and trail along those bayous. Now, we're still waiting to hear what caused these newest bodies to be in a bayou, but police have confirmed in the last year the causes of these cases, they can vary from suicide to murder, even construction accidents. Flooding or heavy rain can also make things more difficult to figure out what happened with a particular case. And there's the growing homeless population that may live along the water. Constable Alan Rosen spoke with our Isaiah Carey earlier this year about the growing issue and how difficult it is to prevent something like this from happening. The bayous are expansive, nearly 24 bayous with other streams and tributaries. Buffalo Bayou stretches over 50 miles, so police would have to be at the exact location of where that person may have gone in at that particular time. Rosen says the best thing they can do is to give a good response.
If we have a citizen call or if law enforcement sees something, we actually will respond. We will deploy our boat just up the bayou here, and we can go all the way down the bayou pretty deep. We've done both. So if we're looking for somebody or something, the Houston Police Department goes here for evidence sometimes.
So law enforcement actually will patrol along those bayou areas and even use the bodies of water for training with their boats periodically. As for you, the best thing you can do is to be aware of your surroundings and report any suspicious activity to local law enforcement. As for these mysterious cases, we'll see if we can dig up more information from them to see exactly what caused these incidents. Reporting from the newsroom, Sherman DeSalle, Fox 26 News.
That is wild. Absolutely wild, y'all. Nothing to say. There's really nothing to say. Be careful. Please be careful. Let's go over into this most recent case where the 13th body was found. So let's get into it.
Our top story here tonight, the bodies being found in Houston bayous. Houston police report another body was just recovered today from the Buffalo Bayou area near Jensen and East downtown. So if you've been watching and keeping track alongside us, that is 4 bodies recovered in 4 days. Today is Thursday. And sadly, a U of H student has been identified as one of the bodies recovered from the Brays Bayou area on September 15th. That's Monday. She was reported missing days before. Sherman DeSell has been covering this story for a couple of days now. And Sherman, it is scary stuff here, but just kind of fill us in on what we know so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a cause of concern for a lot of our viewers. Many have made some speculations online about something maybe more nefarious happening here, and that's understandable. Our Fox 26 count is now at 13 bodies found in Houston bayous this year by law enforcement and first responders. Remember, the 22 bayous are spread out for miles, so it's a lot of ground to cover, and that comes with tough investigations. Here's what we know. HPD confirms a male body was recovered from Buffalo Bayou on Jensen Street in Edo on Thursday. Our camera caught officers and a dive team on the scene around 3 p.m. There were reports of a man jumping into the water there. We're waiting to hear more on this. And remember when we reported 2 bodies recovered from local bayous on Monday, September 15th? One of them was identified as 20-year-old Jade Sage McKissick. She was a U of H student, reported missing on September 11th, last seen that day near the 3700 block of McGregor by a restaurant. She was a junior communications and advertising major. In a letter sent to students, U of H describes her as a campus resident and a student employee and a friend to many in their community. We're talking about a lot of bodies in a city where many people walk, run, and bike the bayou areas every day. So we visited an area near the White Oak Bayou to see how people have been reacting to the discoveries.
A lot of people are just wondering, what's the deal? HPD hasn't really given us a lot of information either. What questions do you have?
I mean, is there somebody paying attention to these? Is there more details to investigation? I don't know. It's just kind of scary at this point. When it's that many coincidences. There's not such a coincidence that happens multiple times.
There's long-term plans and there's short-term plans. I would hope that the short-term plans are in effect, and something is being done. Someone's patrolling, or someone's watching over cameras or lights, or anything's being done right now.
One of the guys who just said, is anyone paying attention to these?
Yeah.
That really brings us right back to HPD. So have we heard anything from HPD on these?
We haven't. I have been on the scene of the last 2 recoveries, hoping to hear something from a public information officer. Haven't heard anything. We've reached out. They say don't anticipate hearing anything right now. We did reach out to the county forensics department to see if they'd be willing to say something. They didn't give an on-camera interview, but we are requesting more details from all of these instances, especially in the last couple of days. So hopefully we'll get some more information. But we hear what you're concerned about, wondering if it's something more that we should be paying attention to, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we'll certainly continue to ask those questions. Sherman, thank you so much.
No problem.
Absolutely crazy. Now, what do y'all think, y'all? Do y'all think it's something more nefarious going on, or is it just a deadly stretch of water? It's just people are falling in and drowning and dying. Absolutely crazy. But they said 4 bodies in 4 days is outrageous to me. And and they're up to 13 bodies this year. Hold on, let me our good friend Google. So as of September, it says at least 14. Okay, it's saying 14. That's absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you have an idea, or do you have a guess on what could be happening? Is it just all coincidence that all these bodies are turning up? Or is it just a deadly stretch of water that people just slipping and falling just because there's so many people running through it, and it's bound to happen? At the end of the day, let's pray for all the people. Let's pray for all the families who are missing people. But it's been a deadly stretch of water for years. I'm surprised they don't have cameras up already, but I would think that they would want as many cameras as possible. Maybe they don't have the funding for it, but still some questions, still some things that they haven't told us yet. Absolutely tragic. Now, we're going to we're going to pivot over into something that's still awful, but a little lighter, more reason to be happy, or that an infant was dumped into. An infant was found in a dumpster, but luckily he was found alive. So man, it's awful that a parent would do something like this, but I'm happy that someone came along and was able to find him, and they was able to take him in alive. It's a tragic situation, but it's some light because someone was able to find him alive and get them the help they needed. And absolutely crazy. Oh, see, I'm always messing up. Let's get into it. Got 2 videos to watch of this. Let's get into it.
Police are now looking into a newborn who was found alive in a dumpster at an apartment complex in North Austin. Reporter Isabella Bosco spoke with 2 witnesses who say they're just thankful she survived.
On Saturday afternoon, Perry Lewis, a resident at this apartment complex on North Lamar, was preparing to leave when he says his neighbor heard a cry from the dumpster.
But he said it might be a baby, so we ran over there and took us a couple seconds.
Lewis looked in the dumpster where he says he discovered a baby girl covered in trash, filth, and dirt.
She was covered in blood, well, her head was at least. Yeah, she had an umbilical cord still attached.
Lucy Frausto says she grabbed the baby out of the dumpster and started doing compressions on the infant's chest. That's when they called first responders.
The way that she was found in the trash can upside down with her head facing the trash can hurt me. Me trying to open up her eye, and I couldn't open her eye, just broke me. Her other eye just started rolling to the back of her head, and I'm just like, please stay with me.
Officer Aaron Townsend says the child was transported to Dell Children's. So far, Townsend says the infant has no issues health-wise.
Detectives are on scene doing the best work that they can to try to track down the mother and whoever else might be responsible.
For now, Frausto's biggest hope is that the child finds...
I hope she finds someone that loves her, that truly loves her, truly wants to be a parent to her.
In fact, Frausto says she already named the baby herself, Miracle Angel.
She's a miracle from God and an angel from the skies.
A miracle, which Frausto says happened because the baby had the will to survive.
She was crying in the trash can. That's how they heard her cry. So she saved herself before anybody could save her.
Now, as they said, detectives are trying to track down the baby's parents, and police say the child will most likely be placed with foster care or CPS until other arrangements can be made. Now, so today,
absolutely tragic. There's some they have safe haven laws for a reason. If you don't want your kid, you are able to give them to a firefighter, something like that, and then there's no issues, no questions asked. Maybe there's probably some questions, but there's no issues. So why put them in a dumpster right after giving birth? Oh my God. This is sad. This is sad, but like I said, it's a good thing that they were found alive. It's a good thing they were found alive, and there were people who ran over to help. Let's get over into this next video. I believe this has more of a police statements.
Thanks for joining us for KVUE News at 6 here on KVUE Plus. I'm Adam Bennett. We are starting with breaking news this evening. A baby has been found in a dumpster in North Austin. And just moments ago, police started a press conference to give us details. Let's go ahead and listen in live.
EMS station, police station, no questions asked. That is something that is an option. Fortunately, that wasn't in this case. We're very fortunate due to the high degree of temperature today, the conditions for a newborn. We're very, very fortunate that somebody did come across this newborn child and that child is safe. I'll take any questions you have at this time.
What is the protocol for newborns following the situation? What's going to happen from here on out?
Well, I would be definitely under CPS jurisdiction there, but from what I understand, the child will be placed into some sort of foster or CPS situation right now. They have people in line who've already been vetted to take care of infants, children who are, who need to be taken care of. So the child will most likely, until they find out more, go into a situation like that where someone will take care of the child until other arrangements can be made.
Can you talk about the condition of the baby now?
The condition, I was just told by the sergeant over there, over the child abuse unit, that the child is safe and is healthy. It does not appear to have any kind of distress at all. And so as of right now, everything's fine with the child.
Is there any information you can provide on how quickly law enforcement came to the dumpster?
All I can say is that the call came at 1:36. I didn't get the response time, but I would imagine it was probably a pretty quick response. But I don't know exactly the time frame, though.
Have any family members reached out at all?
Family members of, not that we know of, no. This is still ongoing investigation. Yes, sir.
Do authorities have any idea of how long the baby had been in the dumpster before they were found?
No, not at this time. Again, those are the pieces that will come together as they do. They walk around the complex and they ask people, maybe some possible witnesses, see if there's anybody who saw anything. They're going to put that together, but as of right now, there's no specific timeline.
Can you confirm this was a newborn girl?
That I don't know. I don't know. Infant is all that I was told. Newborn, it appeared to be a newborn child.
Do we know how much longer the baby will be in the hospital for?
No, not at this time. My best guess, though, is that the child will remain there until accommodations can be made for somebody to take care of the child. So until that time, the child's safe in the hospital. They're Dell Children's. They're probably doing an excellent job taking care of the child at this time, and it'll move from there.
What would you want to say to the people who found the baby and notified authorities?
Well, I mean, obviously we owe them a great deal. Right place, the right time.
Yeah.
Like I said, based on the temperature probably is in the dumpster over there. Time was of the essence, obviously. So we're very fortunate, very lucky that they happened to come by and that they reacted, that they did the right thing. That they didn't just ignore it, that they actually acted and called 911 to get the baby help.
You talked about the safe haven law and the importance of that, but what would you like to say to people, to anyone who might have been responsible, how this really puts newborns in such a danger, considering the temperature, considering where they were found?
Right, I mean, it's a tough situation. I understand, that you might be in a situation that you don't want to be in. However, like I said, there are options, and those options, that safe haven law where you can go drop off your newborn at a fire station, for example, that exists to avoid this very thing, so that people don't get desperate and think that their only option is to, discard the child. Again, this is something that if you were to do something like that, you're not pursued, for the most part, it's literally an option that avoids a possible death and a homicide charge should that child die. So yes, it's very important that if you really feel that way, that you take advantage of that and realize that that you'll be okay.
It's a miracle that the baby was found alive. I mean, for maybe the parents who are potentially watching this story right now, is there anything law enforcement would like to ask in terms of a message, in terms of finding more information for them specifically?
Well, I mean, it would be great if they just came forward and claimed responsibility, right? But sure, so yeah, we'd obviously like to plead to them. If anybody knows anything, if you know the parents, if you are the parents, just come and tell us what happened.
They're not gonna come forward. We know these type of people, man. They put their little girl, or they haven't confirmed girl or not, but they put their little infant child, newly born, in a dumpster. And then I don't know if people dumped it on. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. Absolutely.
Let's try to work this out and figure out what the circumstances are, and then move forward from there. Fortunately, as I've already stated several times, the child is fine. Okay, so all is not lost. So come forward, and talk to the police about it, and we'll figure out what we need to do from there.
Do we know how long the baby had been born for? They said there was still an umbilical cord.
Yeah, again, I don't have the specifics on that. I think probably as this moves forward, they might have more information to be able to narrow down a timeline as far as how long. But as of right now, obviously, what the information that you have is a little bit more than I do. There was an umbilical cord attached, so Obviously, it appeared very, very new, but to the minute, to the hour, I don't know.
Have investigators said anything about the timing of when?
All right, you are listening live to Austin Police giving an update on a baby found alive in a dumpster in a North Austin apartment complex. As you heard that officer talking about, thankfully the baby is alive and being treated. He also praised the Good Samaritan that found that baby, and he said did the right thing, called 911. Now, we also heard that officer talking about laws allowing for safe haven if you cannot care for a child. And we want to tell you just a little bit more about that. It's known as the Baby Moses Law.
We'll get into that now. So Texas Safe Haven Law, also known as the Baby Moses Law, allows a parent to surrender an unharmed infant up to 60 days old at a designated emergency infant care provider without facing criminal charges for abandonment. The law provides a safe, anonymous option for parents in crisis who cannot care for their newborn. So the key provisions of the law, anonymity, my tongue's getting twisted. A parent can remain anonymous when surrendering the child and does not have to answer any questions, like I said, about their identity. They may, however, be offered a voluntary form to provide medical information that is helpful for the child's care and future. Age limit. The law applies only to infants who are 60 days old or younger. The baby's condition. The child must be unharmed and safe to be protected under the law. Designated locations. A parent must bring a baby to an employee at one of the following safe havens: hospitals, fire stations, emergency medical service or EMS stations, licensed freestanding emergency medical care facilities, or newborn safety devices, or baby boxes sound crazy to me, located inside designated emergency infant care providers facilities. The process: the parent must hand the baby directly to an employee at the designated location. The law does not apply if the baby is left unattended outside of a facility. Legal protection: a parent who follows the law will not be prosecuted for abandonment or neglect. What happens after the baby is surrendered? So medical care: the infant receives immediate medical care from the facility staff. If surrendered at a fire or EMS station, the baby will be taken to a hospital for examination. Child welfare notification. So the Texas Department and Family Protective Services, DFPS, is notified and takes custody of the baby. Placement for adoption. A child is then placed with an emergency provider, such as a foster family or an adoption agency, who will care for the baby until a permanent home is found. So then they have a Baby Moses hotline. For additional information, you can reach out to the hotline. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, they need to be charged. Simple as that. They need to be charged. The parents who just left their baby in a dumpster, umbilical cord still attached. See, there are some sick people in the world who aren't meant to be parents. Obviously, they knew it, but they need to be charged. They could have easily drove over to a hospital, something like that, and given up the baby without any questions. But they decided to do something crazy and leave it in a dumpster. Absolutely crazy. But we gotta, like we said before, we gotta praise the people who found it and called it in, because they were right place at the right time. They heard the crying and they went over immediately and helped. You could tell that the girl who found it was very shaken up. So that's I can't imagine finding that and being worried about how the baby will survive. I can't imagine that. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. It's a crazy thing to think about. But some people need to be held responsible for their actions, or all people need to be held responsible for their actions. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now we're gonna pivot over into the last thing we get into for today, and it looks like, so this is more lighthearted, more stuff about jobs. So it seems like Gen Z are choosing trades over schools. We don't always talk about the criminal news, but there's a lot of criminal news going out. But we gotta get over into this more schooling stuff. So it says Gen Zs are now choosing trades over schools, which I'm completely fine with. There's no I've always said that everybody doesn't need to go to college unless you have a major in mind that requires college, engineer, that requires a higher level of education. So I knew I wanted to be one since I was in middle school. So I knew I needed to go to college, but there's some people who just go to college just for the good time, and they take a major that's not going to make them a lot of money, and they spend all the student loans. But it doesn't need to happen. But people are choosing trades now. But some people are made to go to college, and some people aren't. It's completely fine. You can find a way to make a good living without going to college. But let's get over into this video and see what it's talking about.
I'm Antonio, I'm 19 years old, I do asphalt.
Hey guys, I'm at work, it's 4:41 and I leave at 5, so I gotta hurry up and get this wheel liner in.
A career in skilled trade jobs is becoming a hit amongst the unlikeliest demo, Gen Z.
Day in the life of a 20-year-old HVAC technician, let's go.
I feel like trades are such a even playing field. As long as you know what you're doing, you have the experience and you have the ambition, you could really go anywhere in this trade.
18 to 28-year-old electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs, and more are increasingly choosing careers where they have to learn a hard skill and use their hands. Because they say it provides stability without going into major debt.
You can never lose a trade education. It's something you can always fall back onto.
Best thing that ever happened to me, so my experience is going good.
Let's do a quick welding job for some cash.
And many of them are turning to social media to share the ins and outs of their day jobs, garnering millions of views.
To be able to inspire people, make them do better for themselves.
I found passion helping others through TikTok find their way in the trade.
Amid skyrocketing tuition costs for more traditional colleges and fears of job security in white-collar roles, alongside the threat of AI, trade school enrollment is on the rise, with Gen Z leading the charge.
You don't have to go to college to be successful.
I mean, it's their
The
age.
number of people
Yeah,
ages 17 to 21 with 2-year vocational degrees last year hit its highest level in more than 3 decades, doubling the rate in the year 2000.
I started out at a university. They shut down. Cost was too much, wasn't worth it. I wanted an essential job, like most Gen Zs, I'm assuming, transitioned into trade school.
And the reason why? There's a high demand for skilled workers, but not enough people to fill the roles. There are millions of unfilled trade jobs, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are roughly 500,000 open manufacturing jobs alone. And some estimates expect that number to balloon to more than 2 million by 2033. So Gen Z, in many ways, is filling the gap.
The average age of the class is becoming younger.
Chad Phillip teaches a 3-week course at Fred's Appliance Academy in Ohio, where students travel from all over the country to learn to fix kitchen appliances.
One of the biggest things I would get from the students is that they desire to be hands-on. They don't want to sit in an office or a cubicle and do that type of work.
While many people think AI is going to hurt the future of work across industries, some experts believe it could be a good thing for the trades.
AI is going to help, not hurt, these categories. It's going to do a lot of the work that, again, people don't love doing.
Marco Zappacosta in 2018 founded Thumbtack, a platform that connects hundreds of thousands of pros to homeowners in need of home maintenance. And he's been writing about Gen Z and trade jobs for the last year, and says the role of social media cannot be understated.
2 out of 3 Gen Zers are saying that social media's increased their interest in the trades. And that's kind of like influencing them more than like teachers, siblings, extended family.
What made you want to share a bit of your journey on social media and TikTok?
Just want to get my face out there and just show the younger generation that it don't always have to be college. You can go to trade and you can make a good living.
Just to show like the next generation, like I'm 18, 19, 20 years old in these videos and I could do it. You guys could do it. There's nothing that I did was special. All right, 4th of July on-call service call. Let's see what
we got to be honest. We know that also that it's also a side hustle because some of these people are getting millions of views. So they're bringing in some money, some additional money from just sharing what they do from a day-to-day standpoint. So let's keep going.
How does it feel knowing you have a job that is always going to be in demand in some capacity and AI can't replace it?
I sleep well at night.
I feel important in this world. People need me. People AC go out, they call me. So it just feel important. You know, it feel good to have a trade under your belt, just a skill.
Marquise, the AC man is very welcome in my household. My AC go out, I'm calling him. If he needs, I'm gonna give him some glass of water. Please, thank you. Thank you for coming out so quickly.
This is NBC News. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news.
Like I said, college is not for everyone, but college is for some people. This is a 9-year-old. I wanted to give a shout out to him, but this is a 9-year-old. He's not Gen Z, but he's Gen Alpha. That just goes to show that this is a 9-year-old who is in college now. Absolutely genius. In college. So college is not made for everybody, but it is for some people. So let's get over into this and see this 9-year-old in college.
At 9 years old, Aiden Wilkins is making history at a Pennsylvania college.
Every little thing I learn just fascinates me.
And feeling right at home as the youngest student to ever take classes at Ursinus.
I just feel like, okay, I'm in a classroom with people more than double my age.
Okay, because this class in neuroscience is helping Aiden focus on what he wants to be when he grows up.
The reason why I want to be a pediatric neurosurgeon is mainly because, well, I like helping kids around my age.
Since 3, Aiden loved watching anatomy videos.
I was always fascinated when I saw, like, the brain.
Aiden's mom said,
first of all, we're not going to pause it too much, but this 9-year-old talks probably way better than I did at 9. I don't even think I would have been able to say the word neuroscience. Probably can barely still say some of the words. But look,
his genius was evident when he was still in diapers.
He was reading signs and correcting people's sentences, and he was actually correct.
He was promoted to high school at 7 when most kids his age go into the 2nd grade. Now at 9, Aiden is in college 3 days a week and has virtual classes as a sophomore in high school. Part of Aiden's gift is his love of things other kids his age also enjoy.
I mainly like to play video games.
But more than anything, Aiden loves learning.
I'm going to go straight to med school and kind of just see how I do.
One gifted child who may be a gift to all of us. Rahima Ellis, NBC News.
Aiden, enjoy those college classes, and a big thank you to our station, NBC Philadelphia, for their help on that story.
I could not imagine being in college. What is this? Oh, what is happening? So they try to mess me up. I couldn't imagine being in college at 9 years old or taking college classes at 9 years old. But like I said, some trades are an option for people. Not everyone has to go into a college career. That's obvious. You don't have to go into a college just because people are pushing on you. Only go into college if your career path needs college education. Engineering, science majors, medical, yes. But if you're trying to be like an elementary school teacher, there's no need to go to college. You don't need to go to a 4-year college and spend a bunch of money. Elementary, preschool, none of that. No. But yeah, it's understandable that trades are blowing up now because college is so expensive, and they're always going to be needs. Like I said, HVAC, electricians, there are always going to be needs for that. Always. But let me know your thoughts, y'all. How do you feel about it? Yeah, do you feel the same way I do, or do you think, or some people might think that college is not necessary? That nobody need to go to college. I don't think anybody thinks that. But yeah, there's some people who need to go, some people who don't. You have to choose the right path for you. End of the day, that's what you got to do. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You thought I was going to say crazy, but absolutely beautiful. Happy that people are finding their path. But that is it for today. We had to end it on something good because a lot of craziness, but that's the end of the show, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, this is AC Reviews the World, and I am your host, AC the Engineer. Remember to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell. Remember, if you ever find any videos that you want me to review or you want to be included on the show, please send it over to my email. It is acreviewstheworld@gmail.com. A dot after the A and a dot after the C. But thank you all for watching now. Thank you all for watching later. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. And remember, just if you want to show your support, just hit that like button and notification bell. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But that is it for today. You know, it's almost time. It's almost 8 o'clock. So you know what time it is. It's almost time for work. It's almost time for work. But hopefully everybody has a good rest of their day. And hey, you have a good, thriving day. And then I'll see y'all back on Friday. But y'all already know I got to play that outro before we leave. But that's everything, y'all. Peace.